Hello everyone, we have to discuss about that. Roses are you test and F1 schools vocabulary sessions देख लेते हैं. Review. Lesson 1 Glory. Lesson 1 Glory. The glory is in the alphabetics and list of the useful terms in this the books and glory entire are down and from the various activities of everyday and life academic having to do and with the formal schoolings and analysis. Analyze to study the sometimes and part by the parts and to examine it the carefully enveloped paper or the card on which other voters and marks and his or the her choice and bank account the money deposited in the bank and where it is the hold hand and the ready and for the withdrawal and by the depositors and consumers person buy the product or services and cultivates and to the prepared and soil and the grow crops and detours the road used and when the regulars and you road is blocked or the closest to the traffics and the entries and the mandis of other meal for the meal. Equity and rule of the proper conduct and good the manner. Obligations are the legals or the morals duty or the responsibilities and passage a section of the speech or other piece of writings. Pedestrians and pupils and who are the walking and instead of the driving or readings and prohibited and the describes and sometimes not allowed and often the forbidden by the laws and schedules. A plan showing the dates and the times and when part of the project and should be the completed. A timetables and the staples and commons articles or food items and kept in the readingness and for use and thrives to grow in a strong and healthy way. Word in the contact and use the word and from the glories and to the complete the sentence. Driving the wrong way on other one way and street is vilo. Are you test wise? B. Are you test wide? And here are the some and useful the strategic to help you the improve your the performance and on objective test at school. Budget your times and glance over the test and nothing the types of questions and the numbers of the spoils and is the section in wrong in worth and the start with the easiest and questions and allow the most of the hour and the times and for the questions and that are the wealth and the most question and read the questions and all possibilities and answer carefully. Synonyms. Beware of the telephone scams and some cons and the artists and swindles and the gleevals and pupils over the telephones and to avoid the becoming other victims and of the telephone fraud and follow the does and tips how provide and why the police. Never give other stranger any the personal information and this rules and the applied to any the unknown person and checking the information in persons or via mail as well as by the telephones and particularly and well as by the telephones and particularly and do not the revise and use the address and social the security numbers bank account number or credit and card numbers and if other solicitors brothers and you will the requested and for the money or the ties and trees and to the argued and simply hang up if the call and the included and just about any the promises of the students and riches and call the police and if you the suspects and the telephone offer is other fraud and not the following details and includes and them in ours the reports and to the police the name or the little and the cat the collars and used to the identified and himself or the herself what the person and said and about and the films and that he or the she and claimed and to the represented and what the callers and promised and or the offered and what the callers and told you to do and give the personals and information and mail money and or arranged for the someone to pick it up. What 7 letter and verb in the readings means and to cheat or the trick someone for the financials and gain.
कहाँ पे जा रही हो? अच्छा आज हम कहाँ पे रहे?
Claim.
आज हम सब लोग हाँ ठीक मतलब तुम खाना बनाते हो
Descriptive word and out to the words and that the could not and be the used to the describe and is the board face items use other dictionary and if you are not the sure of the words and meaning. Lesson for everyday living words. Keep your cool. Anger the affected your the health and pupils and who the habitually and ill and the argued and create much and the happiness and could either lot of the troubles and such the behaviors and also the race and blood pressures and triggers and heart attack and contribute and to the strokes and the ulcers and the digestive problems and road rage and the uncontrolled angers and while the driving can be the deadly and besides the getting made and don't the solve problem problems and here are the sums and expert and tips on the how to the shimmers down. Be honest if you the have other problem and with the angers and admit it at the someone and else and may have the started started it and what that and the doesn't excuse and you are on the bad habits heavy behaviors and ask yourself and what mistake and you are the making and when you are the drivings and for the example do you the follow other the cars and do the closely work on it decide to change and your the behaviors and then the practices new ways of the behaviorings and stop the attackings and travels by the tailgatings and for the example and practice sayings and be my the guest and if the anothers and drivers cuts and you off or the give and you are the rude and the gestures and respondings and quietly and instead of blowings and yours the top and the altars and your the breathings and patterns and the slow and the damagings and physical effect of the stress and distract and yourself and do you the really and want to give and other the purpose the powers and to make you upset and try the countings and to 10 or the takings deep and the breath and for the minutes or two don't set yourself and up for the angers and watch yours the intakes of caffeine and the alcohol and caffeine programs and anxiety and irritabilities and alcohol shows your thinking and spews and you to the act out word search what ten and the letters and a noun in the readings and names practices word and contact circle other letters and to complete the sentence of show the meanings and of each the board face word or word severe frustrations and the stress and can result in the stomach and the ulcer whereas such other seamers and down and the below yours the top are the examples in figurative language and bad grammars and formal speech and caffeine and the alcohol and can play other big part in the uncontrolled angers any names unit 5 controlling taste pastes have you ever and been the surprising and to see other long line of the aunt and the paradising across yours the kitchens and counters and when the outside and temperatures and fail aunts and come indoors and to shift the warmth and how do you get and rid of the ants and try to the controlled them and with the least toxins product using other pesticides and spray and should be yours the last resource and the first line of the defense and is the cleanliness and even teeny the crops and attract and the ant and that why the that why you they should and ripe should ripe should wipe and down and the counter and thoroughly and after the preparing the food and also make sure and that the food is the storage in the tightly and sealed containers and put the sugars and bob and every other the sweets and things in the refrigerators and empty and the kitchen and trapper trace and can the everyday don't forget and that ants and like any the paste and need food and water that's why and are the often and found the crawlings and around the bathrooms and sink and the tub and to keep the things and dry as well as the cleans and fix the leaky and the faucets and pipes and break up and trails and you can the clean and up the ants with other vacuums and or the spray and them with the soapy water and wipe and them up more other scopes and soaps and washes away the chemicals and trail and that the ants follow and if you the must and use in and the insecticide and choose the least and toxin one and the ant belt and are the usually and less toxins and then the spray and remember that Even small changes of the pesticides and washed down the sinks and drains and into the waterways and harms and sensitive aquatic life. Word search. What four letters and verb in the readings means and to go to out in the search of. What seven letters and noun name and the long and flats and surface of the top of the lower kitchen cabinets. Reading five letters. Antonyms: carelessly and the attract and the size and down. Postures loosely rejected. Synonyms: multi-meaning words. Lesson 6 and car. A car and the safety features. Seat and belt and seat belt and are the singles and most the effective and safety devices in use the automobiles and ban born and correctly other seat and belt and can the preventions and serious injuries or the death in other crash and when properly and worn and seat belt and keep you connected into the vehicles and this allow you to take and the advantage and of the vehicles world in the safety and features and help the protect and you in the almost any and the types of the crash and including the frontals and side and the rears and impact as well as the rollers keep you from being and thrown around the inside of the vehicles and the against others occupants and prevents your the injections and from the vehicles and hold you in the best positions in case the airbags deploy. The airbags supplemented the protection and that the seat and belt and give to the torso and legs and they the provided other cushions and to help and the restraints and protect the head and the chest and here are the some important facts about the airbags and if you have other moderate to shivers and frontals and collisions and the airbags and will the instantly and inflates after the inflating and airbags and inflates immediately and they won't interfere with the driver visibilities and most the occupants of the vehicles and will not the realize and that the airbags and deployed and until and they see them and lying the deflated on theirs the laps. Airbags can be the hazardous and to the children and the inflatings and front airbag and can the strict and with the enough force to seriously injured or even the kill a small child. Wear safety belt and to get the maximum protection from the seat and belt and the airbags. Be sure to adjust and your the front seat and the properly and move both seats and as far and both far and both seats and as far as and the back as possible and from the steerings while and the dashboards and while whenever the car and car is moving and keep the rubber adjustables and the seat backs in and the upritings and positions and decline other seat back and to the far and can the allow other person and to the slide under other seat belt in other crush and resulting in the serious injuries. Word search. What the six and the letters noun in the leadings and means and the instruments or the mechanism. Vocabulary stretch and get out our the dictionary and the threshers and the challenging words in this the lessons and where the especially chosen and to stretch the limit of yours the vocabulary look it up and the circle the words and that the correctly and the complicated and each the sentence and before the selectings are the word read the dictionary and definitions and of all the word phrase and word and check out the context and clues in each the sentence. Some pupils some pupils and who lose their the job and because the ingenious and incredible and brilliant solutions to be the problems and may not the malleables and profitables and repeat markers and in the class are the allying. What sort sentence? Review. Unit number 1 every day का review. Yes. Once and for answerings at the multiple choice and questions is to be the eliminated wrong answer first. Dwelling is a skew on the most and city the spirits. Anatologies. Puzzles. Hidden word at the puzzles and find at the circle the word in the puzzles and word may go and up and down and across the backward or the diagrammatically check off each word and as you find it. Objective Gullible. Preview. नहीं तुम क्या आंसर पाएंगे भैया. Glory 32. Glory. A glory is in the alphabetic and list of the useful terms in this the books and glory entire are drawn from the various activity of everyday and the accessories and extra thinking and added for the conveniences and comfort or the decorations and agents and some ones and such as and the insurances and agents and who takes and care of the business and for you and the curriculums and the courses or the plans of the study in other schools and delegates one who officially represented and others the estimated other quantity and price for the goods and the services, and inflated it the conductor concluded and reached by the carefully the reasonings interstate and between or the amongst and the states and of other federal government inventory and the complete list of the goods and processed and stocks on the hand and injunction junctions, the places and where the highways and railroad and etc and join or the cross. Lease agreement to use the somethings and for other certain amount of the times and for other certain amount of the money and the mortgages and the agreement in which other borrowers and gives the lenders other claims and to the property and as other pledge and that the debt and will be the paid and property other person and belongings and the especially land or the real estates and reimburse and to the pay back and money over and for the servicing expenses and loss etc and relevant and to the point and having to do the with and the subjected and beings the discuss and the restrictions other limitings and conditions and such as other rules and revoke to the time cancels or the repeated either licenses permits and law etc and utilized utilities and public the services and such as the gas electricity and water etc words and what and the three and the letters and the abbreviations in the readings and means and the show farce. Unit 2 and lesson 2 computer and health. Your computer can have the adverse and affected on your the health and have you even and health of the carpals and the tuners syndromes and this the painful and the condition is equals common and it is the consequences of the workings and 8 other computers and for the long period of times using the same hands and motions and overs and the over against and causes the nervous and in the breast and to the avail and becomes the pinches and computers or users are now the wings burned about the another computers and related and the melodies and this one is called the computer and visions and andromes or the CBS and the symptoms and include the headache and the worry blurry read and visions and light sensitivity and the difficulties in focusing and the CBS is other temporaries and the condition it can be the relieved and by the frequently and showed the breaks and from the sharings aid the computer machines. And here are the sums and the preventives and the methods and to help the abbreviated and CBS and positive positions the monitors and to avoid the glares and from the window and the others and lights and sources and if the necessary place other filters and over the screens and make sure the monitors and is the positioned and 20 to 28 and the inches and away from use the eyes and rest use the eyes and regularly and look out at the window and every 20 minutes and after 2 hours and of the computer use and take other 15 minutes break remembers and to the blinks most pupils and blinks and layers after and when they are the using the computer experts and expert also recommended read the pupils. Recommended that pupils and who the works and long the hours and on other computers. सो जा सो जा सो जा सो जा. Pupils who works and long the hours on other computers should get the more and the frequently and eyes example and some may and need the special glasses and design for the computer use. Word search. Lesson to Unit 2, Easy Biscuits. Easy Biscuit year ago and before the commercials and the made bread and was the widely and available many the homemakers made biscuits every day and the following recipes and makes about the 20 flexi biscuits and easy biscuits and 2 cups flour and 3 the teaspoon and the baking powders and the 1 the teaspoons and salt and 1 upon 4 and the cup shortening and the cup milk.